Hi, I'm Patricia from Trisha's Lovely Creations, and today we're going to create faux pearl pendants. And here I've got some examples, and the color's kind of washing it out here, the light I mean. Let's see if I can get it to show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to change my light settings and see what it does. And that's a lot better. Now you can see the colors of the pearls in there. And I got this idea from Day at Kalyana Design. And I lost some video footage. Pardon me, I lost some video footage, so I can't take you all the way through the process. But be sure to check out her tutorial on the cabochons. But these are the pendants that I made with her tutorial, and we're going to make some more today. And I want to make them a little bit brighter. These were gorgeous, but a little bit too dull for me. And this is the cane that we'll be making. We just slap all them colors together and make it into a square cane. You can see all my colors in there, how ripply they are, all the mica in them. So let's get started. So here's the clay colors we'll be using today. I've got translucent here, pearl white, I believe that is green pearl, peacock pearl, purple pearl, magenta pearl, and gold. We'll also be using mica powders. Got micro pearl here from Pearl X. And I've got some other ones. I got, I believe that's violet ghost, green, blue ghost. Oh, that one might be the violet. And gold. These are all ghost colors. So I'm using my mighty blade from Tiny Pandora. And I'm going to cut off some pearl here. I'm going to be using my square cutter to cut all the shapes. Measure my clay that way. It's about a 2-inch square, I believe. And I love this blade, I have to tell you. It's awesome. So I'm going to roll my clay here so I can get it through my pasta machine. I'm going to need 6 squares. So I'm going to run these through my pasta machine and I will be back. Okay, I'm back and I have my sheet rolled out on the thickest setting on my atlas. So I'm going to cut out my squares and I'm going to need 6 of them. Okay, now I'm going to get my color clay out, and I'm going to start adding my colors to the clay. So I got my gold here, and I'm just going to roll about a pea-size piece of color there. And I'm going to do that for each color. And just going to make sure I got them all here, and then plus my pearl color. Now I'm going to take each one and cut them in half. And add it to my color. Or add it to my pearl, excuse me. And the last one. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to take it and run them through the pasta machine and get them all good and mixed up. And there we go. Now they've all been mixed, and we are ready to add the mica powders to them. And you can see some of them came out really bright, like my magenta pearl and my purple pearl. They come out really bright. Now I will add the mica powders to them. And for the pearl, like I said, I'm going to add the micro pearl from Pearl X. So I'm just going to add about a spoonful, which is going to be way too much. And I make a huge mess with this. But I will mix in what I can. Alrighty, and that one's all mixed up. I rolled it out on, I think it was a setting 7. And then I'm going to go over to my next color, which is green, and I'm going to add a little bit less. Then we'll go from there, keep adding my colors to them. Rolled that out on a setting 7, I do believe. So I'm just going to spoon a little bit of the color on there. And I'm going to mix it up just as I mixed up my white one. Just keep mixing and mixing until it's mixed. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the rest of them. I'm going to run through at setting 7. I'm going to add my mica powder, get it all mixed up, and then get it all blended in. And then I will be right back. Okay, they're all done with the mica powder. So I've added the mica powder to each one now. And now I'm going to add some translucent clay to each one. And I only want half of the square that I put in for the color. So I'm going to take and I'm going to make my square. And then I'm going to cut my square in half. And I'm going to add that to each one. So it's 1 part pearl to half translucent. So I just add my little halves onto each one of those. And then I will mix them through the pasta machine until they're all good and mixed. And then I will be right back. So here's each one now. They have been mixed with the mica powder and mixed with the translucent. And now I'm ready to run them through on the thinnest setting and start tearing them up to make my sheet. So I will do that and I'll be right back. I forgot to turn my camcorder on, but here I am on my thinnest setting and I'm just tearing off sheets of clay just like you would the watercolor technique and laying them out on my table. So here I am just about done, and I've changed the setting from my thinnest setting to a setting 7 because I was tearing my pieces really bad. So, though, I totally miss after I finish it rolling it with the roller and then running it through, or getting it off the table and then running it through the pasta machine. Here's after I've ran it through the pasta machine, and you can see how the colors have mixed. And I have several sheets that I ran through. I cut it into 4s because I filled my whole Tiny Pandora glass mat, so I had to do it in 4 sections. Now I'm going to kind of put them together here. To really get what you're supposed to do, you might want to go over to Day's video and check that out to see how she does it, because she certainly does it a lot better than I do. So, I can't go too big because I have the LS Machine 150 instead of the 180, but I make it work. So here I'm just going to take and I'm going to try to keep it together here, and I'm going to fold it into 3s. Now I'm going to run this back through my pasta machine. And there I've got my sheet, and I think I have this one as setting 7. I'm pretty sure I do. My other sheet, and I'll run that one through. I believe on the setting 7. There's what that one looks like, but I want to get these down to a setting 9. I do believe. I might already be on a setting 9. I'm not sure. Maybe not. No. There it is on a setting 9. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to fold it up. First I'm going to cut it to make it shorter. I'm going to kind of do these in sections. It's just easier for me to do it that way. But like I said, I really suggest that you watch Day's video, because she does this a lot better than I do. So now I'm going to start folding it just like you would material of some kind, like a silk or what have you. I'm not very good at folding it either, but I do my best. And it all comes out in the end, and that's the most important part. So now I have two halves, and now I need to put them together. So that's what I'm going to do, is start putting these two together to make one square. I'm going to take my blade here and I'm going to start popping bubbles. We don't want the bubbles in there. So I'm going to pop them as I see them right now. Okay, now we're going to cut it in half and then stack it. That's what it looks like right now. You can see I still got a bunch of bubbles in there. And just stack it on top of each other and start squishing it down again. Okay, so we're just going to roll it out again. Find my bubbles here, and I'm going to pop them. Rolling and squishing. That's all I'm doing. Okay. Now I'm going to cut it again. And see how the bubbles are coming out. We're getting there. Got a nice shimmer to it. I'm going to stack it again. I'm going to start shaping it again. I'm going to shape it into a square. Pop some more of these bubbles. Okay, flatten some more with my acrylic block here. It's going all around it. Okay, I think that's got it. And here's what we ended up with. Looks pretty good, nice and shimmery. All the pretty colors all mixed together. Put something in there. More bubbles. There we go. Got that little burger out. Fix it here. There we go. Much better. Okay. There's what the other one looked like. You can see how pale it is in comparison. This one's much brighter, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, and here I've got some homemade pearl I made. I'm going to use this as my filler in between the two sides, so I can get a thick piece but not too thick of a piece. I'll roll it out on my thickest setting, I do believe. I can't fit this whole clump through, so I'm going to cut it. There we go. That's better. Okay. So I rolled them out on my thickest setting. And then I'm going to take and slice off my cane and add them to my pearl clay. Alrighty, now I'm just going to roll over it with my acrylic roller here. Nice and smooth. There we go. Go over it again. Okay. I'll lift it up. Go on, flip it over and do the other side. Okay. Now I'm just going to roll out this side like I did the other side. And then we'll run it through the pasta machine on the thickest setting. Okay, that's been rolled through on the thickest setting, and now I've got it here on a piece of paper and on my tile, I do believe. I'm going to find my cutters that I want to use. And I'm going to just see where I can fit them in. What ones I can fit in here. Grab my acrylic block, excuse me. That way it's easier to cut for me. And that feels a little rough. So I'm going to get me a piece of parchment paper and I'm going to just smooth it out by burnishing it. You don't need a whole lot, but just a little. Make sure it's all good and smooth. Okay, now I'm just going to burnish this a little bit more down on the bottom here. Make sure that I'm good and smooth. My oval here ended up misshapen. I didn't make sure that it was the correct shape before I baked it. So if you're going to use one, definitely check your shape and make sure it's good. Because mine's really out of shape. Okay, and now they're all done and they are ready to go in the oven. They're going to come out so pretty, I think. Just beautiful. The color was right where I wanted it this time. Okay, and now I'm going to sandwich them between two pieces of paper and two tiles so that I don't get any air pocket bubbles showing up, just in case I have air pockets in there still. I'm going to bake them at 275 for 1 hour, and then I'll be back. Okay, here they are out of the oven, and this is how they turned out, and I think they come out very good. I'm very pleased with how well they came out. You can see how much darker my color is this time compared to my last one. I'm really liking it. Came out really nice. I think this is the one I'm going to do the pendant on. They all come out really pretty. Just gotta take these edges off here with a little bit of sanding will do it. Oh, they all come out pretty nice. My little oval came out nice, but my big one here, not so much. It's really wonky, you can see. Okay, and now we're going to sand, and I'm going to start out with 400 grit, and I'm going to go all the way up to 10,000 grit. And I've sped up the process so that it's not so boring. And hopefully you can see here I am sanding both sides of the pendant because I want to make sure both sides are equally shiny. Okay, and I got it all sanded. Now I'm going to buff it out. I want to see how shiny it gets here. I'm going to do a little test spot. I'm just going to buff this out with my Dremel. See what I get. And it's not shining up as well as I'd like it to. That's alright. I have one more trick up my sleeve. Okay, now here I'm going to use polishing papers starting at 400. And I believe I'm going up to 6,000. Might be 8,000. I can't remember which. Okay, now we're going to buff it out with the Dremel. And I think it's going to buff up real nice because it's already pretty shiny. And when I'm buffing, I barely touch the item. I mean, I'm barely skimming across the top. You want to do as light as pressure as possible. Look at that shine. It's coming out really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. Shining up beautifully. Beautiful shine. I love how that one came out. Gorgeous. Okay, and now we're ready to drill our hole, and I'm just going to use my pin drill today. Trying to decide where I want my hole at. Well, there, looks good. There we go. Pop that through there. Go through the other side, making sure that hole is nice and clean and beautiful. I like to do it from both sides to make sure the hole is clean as possible. It really helps tidy it up to go through both sides. Gorgeous. And I'm going to get everything out I need. Okay, get my pliers out. Got my jump ring. Take and open up the jump ring. Zoom in a little bit here so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully. As long as I don't go out of camera. Put on the bail. Close up that jump ring. There we go. Making sure that it's closed tightly. I also like to make sure that the opening is down inside the clay. Okay, and I'm going to cut my cord about 17.5 inches because I want an 18-inch necklace. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am measuring my cord and cutting it. Now I'll need my glue. Put my pendant through the cord. Gonna be beautiful. You can wear this either side. That's the beautiful thing about it. I find my toothpick and my bead crimp ends there. Got my toothpicks. Also need to find my jump rings and my claw clasp. Okay, now I'm just going to take me some glue and put it on the end of my toothpick here. I'm going to take that and go along my cord end. Trying to get as much glue on there as possible without getting it too yucky. I'm just going to kind of twist that onto there. And up into the hole. Now glue for my other one. Spread it on the end. And twist that into there. Push that up into there. Pull it back just a smidge. There we go. And that looks good. Now for the jump rings and the claw clasp. I'm going to take my 6mm. Or no, wait, I'm not using a 6mm. I think I'm using an 8mm. If I remember correctly. And this one is my 4mm for the claw clasp. Close it up. I'll hook it together. And voila. There we go. Beautiful faux mother of pearl. So if this tutorial was helpful to you in any way, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I also have a Facebook group, Trisha's Lovely Creations, and I hope to see you there. Thanks. Have a great day.